I do like that Anita Dupree does feel very regal.
Yeah.
But also very nice and very warm. Every one of her loyal family members that she's known the longest are taking Eva's side, constantly defending Eva. She's still with her boyfriend. It's just a lot. And I'm surprised Kat hasn't fucking snapped.
I think Eva is going to be the hero when Tomas breaks Kat's heart, because it's going to happen. I think Eva's going to step to him, and then because she gonna be happy because she gonna be with Isaiah.
Shanice, she's always entertaining though. Like even if she's just in the background listening on the comments, them facial expressions, because she Debbie and the thing like
everybody work with somebody like her.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Loving Them Gates, a Beyond the Gates weekly podcast where Brian H. Butters and Queen PR dissects the latest episodes of the new hit show Beyond the Gates. We'll break down all the plot twists, character arcs, and iconic moments with our unique perspectives and a whole lot of love.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Loving Them Gates. And this week it is a very special deep dive episode where we go into the minds and the lives of the women of Fairmont and Crest.
My favorites.
Yes, so we are doing a deep dive on the female characters on Beyond the Gates.
Mm-hmm.
Those that are new, welcome to Loving Them Gates.
Yep.
Our weekly Beyond the Gates podcast where we do recaps. And for our OG gatekeepers, welcome back. Please, this is kind of an interactive episode, so we want to hear your thoughts on all of these characters in the comments, because we may do a follow-up mailbag episode based on some of the comments that we get here. Because one thing that I think we can all say that we love about Beyond the Gates, the characters are complex.
Oh yeah, big time. When you think about each individual, there's nobody that's all good and there's nobody who's all bad. Well, maybe except Joey Armstrong, but yeah, for the most part, they are complex. They all got some dirt on them, and we're gonna deep dive right in it.
Yes, let's get into it. So I have some fun ideas for how I want to talk about these women. But first, I want to know from you, and of course, our gatekeepers, who is a female character on the show that just in your eyes can do no wrong. They are a huge part of the show for you, your experience watching it, and they stand out amongst all the women characters.
Wow, that's a tough question. Because they all got, like I said, they all got dirt. I mean, if you say do no wrong right now, it has to be Anita Dupree.
Yeah.
My favorite character this week is Chelsea, but even the way she was handling with Allison and going with the social media posts, stuff with her mother, I don't know, but I would definitely say Anita Dupree.
Okay, who is your least favorite female character?
I'm gonna say, so you gotta understand, we're gonna play this like wrestling. Love to hate, get on my nerves, but I want her on my screen every day. Dana, aka Leslie.
Yeah, she's so entertaining. All right, so let's start with Leslie. Let's start with Leslie. She is one of the OG characters. She has many aliases. We were literally just saying today, I don't know, what is her name Dana or is her name Leslie? I would like to know, because Ted calls her Dana.
He still calls her Dana.
And everyone else calls her Leslie. So I don't
know. Except Eva.
Mama. That was good. Yeah, I sounded like her. Okay, so Leslie is played by Trisha Mann Grant, and she's another OG actress. I do want to give a little tidbits of the actresses that play them, because we talk about all the time on the show. The casting is just phenomenal.
Yep.
We love all of the Black talent on there, but so she's an OD actress. You've probably seen her in things you don't even realize now, but I love Leslie because you never know what you're gonna get when she's on screen, And that's what you want, whether you're watching a soap opera, reading a book, watching a movie. You want to be captivated, even if you're hating everything that she's doing. You are going to pay attention when Leslie's on the screen.
I always say, no matter how many times, we watch the show together every time. And there's countless times where you're going, ha! Because Leslie done said something, done something, her actions, her eyes, her movements. Like,
the nicknames. Wait, okay, so her new target at the time of recording is Shanice.
Yes.
And what was she calling her? Niecy? Like, you don't even know these people.
And that's usually that's a family name. Most people, right. That's a family name.
Yeah, she is
Shanice ready for her.
She is ready for her. So one last question about Leslie. Do you see redemption there?
No.
At any point in the future?
No, she's going to be the number one target. What you wrecked Nicole's marriage. There's no redeeming yourself. You also, not only did she wreck the marriage, but remember, she portrayed to be a patient.
Yeah, she did a lot.
Yeah, so I just can't see it.
In the beginning of the show, the different wigs, the hijinks, the plotting, the confrontations, the lawsuits, the police investigations, the stalking. I'm saying these things these words are associated with Leslie, but they are legit associated with Leslie.
In jail
attempted murder.
What are we doing?
Attempted murder.
But Kat fumbled her case.
Yeah, she absolutely did. But everybody be raving about how great of a detective Kat is. I don't know. But we'll definitely. We have a deep dive on Jacob. Is he a good detective? So I would love if everyone check that out and give their thoughts. Who is a female character on Fairmont Crest who surprised you the most?
Oh, wow. Such good questions. One that surprised me the most. Now, when you say surprise, are you saying that I'm actually interested in their story, or?
I mean, you watched it and you're like, oh.
June.
Okay.
June.
Let's get into
because
June.
I was not, I didn't care. Why do we care about this lady? Why is Jacob and Naomi so concerned about this woman?
Even before they knew that June was Samantha and Terrell's birth mother, they were obsessed with this. She was a homeless crackhead at the time. And I know there's probably a lot of new viewers into the show, so that's why I'm kind of giving more context of how far June has come, because maybe viewers only know her as the beautiful. She is beautiful. Yeah. Shout out to Jasmine Burke, who plays June, who the transformation is wild. But she was a homeless crackhead who I think Jacob busted for petty theft or something, and then he grew to like her, and she needed housing and a good lawyer, and then he moved Naomi in, and then they became obsessed with this woman, and it ended up, so that's, again, Beyond the Gates will have you kind of doing 180s on characters all the time.
No, that's true. So yeah, I agree, but yeah, June definitely somebody surprised me, and I do love the fact that she's being a mother at a distance. She's not trying to do too much. Normally, you kind of felt okay, she's going to try to want to get her kids back, especially after they rejected her initially. Yeah. But nah, she's being there, so I like it.
Yeah, I do too. And she does have a great personality, and then you could kind of see why Naomi and Jacob kind of took a liking to her.
Yes,
and
they're different.
But if we have the means,
they're best friends with Derek and Ashley.
Yeah, this is enough. Now I was gonna say something nice about them, and because I say if you have the means, And why not? You know,
you're right. That's
so
true. Let me not be mean.
Because I'm just like, I wouldn't have time to if she want to sleep under the bridge. Like, I don't know what to tell her, you know. But I do appreciate everything that they did, because then it ended up being she got sober and she has a job and she's in her kids' lives, so that's really cool. So let's talk about Samantha.
Okay.
Because they represent the young generation on the show, which I do appreciate. In the beginning, I was a little like, I don't care about the kids' storylines. I forgot what their like first storylines were, but it was just like, I do not care.
Like the chess club and
I was just like, okay, because also you're coming off opening the show with the Danny love triangle, her pulling out a gun at the wedding, so then you go to like teenage drama. I'm like, I don't care. But then shit got spicy with the imposter that Terrell was playing chess with and all of that, and even was able to get close to Samantha. And so she is the daughter of Martin and Smitty, teenager. I think she's 15, 16. Yep. And she is definitely a freaking teenage girl, like in every way possible. And I see so much because I obviously was a teenage girl. I have 4 sisters. I know what that teenage girl energy is like, and she has it all. But she's also very smart. You know, she's immature in a lot of ways, but she's also she has high emotional intelligence when it comes to her parents and family dynamics, and, you know, even things in her life. And to a point where I think that, and we talk about this on the show, that I think she's a little too involved in her parents and a little too upfront with them about certain things. But again, their lifestyle, you know, she probably had to grow up fast. But I like Samantha. I think she's a great representation on the show. She's modeling. She cares about school. You know, she's getting into boys, but I like her. She's funny.
I like her too. You know, she's doing everything she's supposed to be doing. You know, she's supposed to be making their lives miserable.
It's so true.
You know, and she's doing it. But I do love her relationship she has with her brother. Like, love it. You know, because she was trying to help him. Essentially, that's what do. They help get the girl. You know, you like her. They'll say either no, she's too fast, or she's not on your level, or she's not worth your time.
She co-signs.
Or she'd be like, you know, stop doing that, because she ain't like that. She don't like how you dress. She don't like how you know. So I do love their relationship. I'm glad that she's building a bond with her aunt. People talk about the actress, and they always talk about how she, you know, she's definitely not a teenager, but again, Black don't got. She's so good at the job.
She is good at the job, and most teenagers, especially Black teenage roles, are played by older Black women, because again, like, we age beautifully, and the fact that she, you know, like Gabrielle Union, look up some of her high school movies set in high school, and look up how old she was in a lot of those movies.
Oh, so I wasn't tripping, because I would be looking at her like,
no, she like,
and
she was like mid-20s. Because
you gotta think I was in high school at the time. I'm like, they don't look like that.
Right. Like, where the Gabrielle Union's at? But yeah, she's beautiful. And it is funny sometimes to just joke about like how much older they do look. Right. But she's a fun character. I love how much she loves fashion. She's cool. I would love to see her do more of like the bad girl route and stuff, you know, because now she has another parent to rebel against. So she gonna like you said, she gonna continue to make her father,
especially as homeboy, her brother gets more distracted.
Yes, because he's getting older. He has a girlfriend. Okay, so we talked about the youngest woman, our main character on the show. Let's talk about, I don't want to say oldest because that sounds crazy. Let's talk about the grandest woman in Fairmont Crest, and that is Anita Dupree.
Anita Dupree.
Okay,
the legendary.
That's a mother.
The legendary Anita Dupree. Yes. You know, I mean, she's so legendary. She has an impersonator.
Right.
She can text.
Right. Yo, and became like friends with. Right. You know, which I find hilarious. So Anita Dupree, I don't think any explanation needs to be made. Legendary singer. In my mind, when I watch the show and I tried, when people are like, oh my God, I met Anita Dupree. You know, I think like if they just met like Diana Ross.
Yeah. You think about just like the matriarch of such a grand family.
Yes.
A nicer version of Lady Mae from Greenleaf.
Mm.
Like Lady Mae be so like she created like she had aura, but she also was, like you don't cross her.
Yeah,
like you
Nita's warmer.
Yeah, like you ever You ever have the friends that grandmothers beat them?
What?
Yeah, like I'm gonna put my cousins out there. So my our grandmothers are sisters, right? Mm-hmm. My grandmother was always nice, always candy. If you got out of line, she might yell at you. Don't do that no more. Here's some chips. Their grandmother, I see, and I'd be like, yeah. So that's the dynamic I'm talking of Anita Dupree, because we saw what Lady Mae did. Right. If y'all watch Greenleaf, check it out. Maybe we'll do a Greenleaf look back or something. Ooh, yeah, because we love that show. But Lady Mae didn't play because she was looked like she was ready to smack homegirl that one time. But you don't see Anita Dupree doing that. No. You know, even this whole thing with Kat. She was like, now you know Kat.
Yep.
You should.
Yep. And just also how there's a couple times she almost lost control. Well, but I mean, with Leslie. Yeah,
that was a gift.
Yeah. Oh, a gift. That's wow. But I do like that Anita Dupree does feel very regal.
Yeah.
But also very nice and very warm.
That's why Vernon loves her so much.
Yes, and Vernon kisses the ground that she walks on. What is one of your favorite character traits about Anita Dupree, or something that she does, or a favorite scene that comes to mind when you think of her?
Honestly, I'm gonna take it back to when Chelsea was missing and she gathered the family for prayer. Because that's one thing Black people gonna do in this situation. We're gonna pray.
And the gatekeepers on Facebook was going in about that, and I said, but sometimes that's what you need to do.
Yeah, I loved every bit of that because it felt real.
It absolutely felt organic and authentic. Like, this is what what happened. I got some great news today, and I called my mom, and one of the first things she said was to pray on it. And and I love seeing the reflection of Black culture.
Yeah.
Why you was looking at me like that?
Smiling. I was smiling. Nah, but you're right, Black culture, and that's the thing. We that's one thing that's like, no matter how high we get as far as rankings, the real ones, they stay up there because they gonna keep that prayer line. And that starts with Anita Dupree. She starts and she's the matriarch.
Absolutely. I have to say the fashion.
Oh, I knew. Oh, yeah,
the jackets, the jewelry, the accessories, the way she's sporting her silver locks. Like, she is just beautiful. And I'm just also a huge fan of Tamara Tooney because I'm a Law and Order fanatic. And she was the medical examiner on SVU for maybe over 10 years. So when I say, like, that's my girl, and when I found out that she was going to be on the show, I was like, literally say less. She's an amazing actress. I do want to see more from her. So at the time of recording this is Winterfest season, and I'm saying Winterfest season because I think that's going to become like that annual event where shit just hits the fan for like the Gatekeeper universe. So right now we're seeing a lot of Anita just knee deep in the planning mode, and like I said, she's very warm, like how she is with Laura, another really beautiful female character on the show. But yeah, Anita Dupree, regal, great matriarch. We love you, girl. So real quick about Laura, who is the Nicole assistant. And
you trying not to say Leslie's victim?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Sorry.
Yeah. Laura been through it a lot, and she seems like a minor character, but she's kind of like the catalyst to a lot of things, because that was Laura's position in Nicole's life and Ted's life was Leslie's way in. So she ran Laura off the road and basically got Eva the job so that they could hatch the plan to expose Ted and the affair and all of that. And so all of that happening, she was in the hospital for like months, and then Leslie tried to kill her again, and then now she's making more appearances. She's back in her groove. But I like Laura. She's
I do
sweet.
Too. Yeah, she's a beautiful woman. I mean, all the women on the show,
20 out of 10.
But she's great. I love that. I do love that how she's been cautious around Leslie, because I mean, somebody try to run you off the road, you gonna be it's traumatized. Thank you, that's the word.
And then remember, she visited her in the hospital with being super creepy.
Yeah.
I did feel bad for her, and I can see why she was scared. But also, I'm like, I wouldn't have been that scared. Let's put it that way. So let's talk about another. I wouldn't even call her minor, because anytime she's on the screen, she is filling the screen with so much charisma and hilarity, and that is Shanice. And she's the supervising nurse in the hospital. She's played by Ernestine Johnson Morrison, another beautiful woman. I've loved her character since day one.
Yeah, me too. Shout out to her. I know she had posted, and also want to just as we being Gate fans, Beyond the Gates fans, seeing stuff online, she lost her mother this year, so we want to give her love. If she checks the show out, we definitely want to know, like, we with you, we support you, we praying for you. But the thing about her, like, finally getting her break, like, she posted about other movies and shows she was a part of, and now, like, it's like been minor roles, but like, she has come in and owned it, and she is must-see TV.
She really
like
is.
We know we wanted to see Dirk get the cheeks.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to see
and now I want to see Ted. Ted, want to see her, because the thing is, she was with the shits.
Her and Ted.
That's what I want to see.
Whoa. Do you think she would do that to Nicole? Like, she has so much respect for them.
I mean, Ted being nice,
That's true, because Ted be a little too
chocolate
nice
and caramel always go together.
Yeah. I cannot wait to do a spotlight on the men in Fairmont Crest, because that's going to be a spicy one.
But I think that,
messy.
And she goes toe-to-toe with Leslie like nobody else has. Like,
she got her one-liners.
Yeah, she be ready. And, like, she's like, don't play with me. Like, and you always, I mean, your sister's a nurse. If she got to pull out the other side of her, somebody crazy,
because she said, I've dealt with difficult family members or patients, because you're dealing with people's, like, worst days of their lives, so you develop that thick skin. But Leslie will get how many people have Leslie made them lose their control? Nicole strangled her at one point, and I'm saying strangle as an exaggeration, because Leslie, you said as an exaggeration, but she definitely got physical with her. Anita Dupree slapped her, but she gonna catch Shanice on the wrong day, and people gonna let it happen, but Shanice, she's always entertaining though, like, even if she's just in the background listening on the comments, them facial expressions, because she Debbie and the thing, like,
everybody work with somebody like her. I said that before. Like, we all see people everybody got Shanice in the office.
Hell yeah, and they gonna have the tea for you. They gonna somehow know all the tea. But she be at the nurse station, and people just happen to have conversations there, like, in front of her. She's witnessed almost everything. But remember when
Kat went to her for advice?
Vaguely.
When she was like, have you ever broken somebody?
Oh, yes. Oh, Kat. Oh. So, yeah, Shanice, she's a dynamic character. I'm really excited for her. And we've been seeing more scenes from her. Before we move on, I just realized one of the first scenes where we're introduced to Shanice is her spilling the tea about the wedding, the upcoming marriage of Bill and Haley, and like, oh, did you hear about that? And I could be wrong about that being her first scene, but that is like my first impression of Shanice. Is like, oh, she the nosy one.
Yep.
She interjected herself in Ashley and Derek's relationship you mentioned earlier. Like, she messy, but she my kind of messy. I like
everybody need a friend like her.
Everybody need a friend like her. She keep it real. So you mentioned Kat.
Oh boy.
Let's get into Kat.
Oh boy.
Played by Colby Muhammad, and she's a great IG follow, y'all. If y'all are not following her on Instagram, she's a great follow. Actually, they all are. They've been pumping out the social media content, so make sure you
follow all that.
Support the show. Yeah, follow the Instagram and everything. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yep. But yeah, Kat is a very complex character, and I think we can literally do a 2-hour episode on her. But she's someone that grew on me recently, because I do feel bad for her. She is going through a lot. See, you are not a daddy's girl. You don't understand what she's going through right now. So right now in the show, Ted, for some reason, maybe because he's finally officially divorced from Nicole, but he is now like leaning more into being Eva's dad, saying she could call him dad. And Kat walks in on it, and it's hard for her to deal with, which I totally understand. She is the miracle baby that was the only child, and not only does she have to now reconcile sharing her only girl. Not only does she have to reconcile with sharing her father with someone, sharing that attention, but it's also like her mortal enemy in various different ways. So I feel if I was her, and then every one of her loyal family members that she's known the longest are taking Eva's side, constantly defending Eva. She's still with her boyfriend. It's just a lot. And I'm surprised Kat hasn't fucking snapped and like fucking pulled out a gun. Nah, I'm exaggerating, but it's a lot.
She's not about that life. See, the thing about Kat is I hate everything. I hate the way Martin talked about her. But everything he said was right. She is spoiled. She is used to everybody because of everything you just said. She being a miracle baby. And you know, usually in situations like that, you're a miracle baby. People they just want to take care of you like this precious flower. No, I can't understand from a daddy's girl perspective. But my issue with Kat is she was getting ready to make amends with Eva.
And then she caught her literally having just fucked her boyfriend. So what did you expect from her?
But that's the issue, like her and Tomas. And really, I wish Kat would just say, you know what, Tomas, you don't deserve me. If you like, okay, you still feel the way about Eva, fine. Don't give Tomas a pass. That's my issue.
Like he's getting a pass. You're forgiving Tomas before you're forgiving Eva. But then you got to remember the plot that Eva did to ruin her family's life. Her parents are getting a divorce.
Eva's mother.
I know, but Eva was not innocent. She was involved.
And she apologized to the fullest. Leslie never apologized.
Okay, well, I'm still gonna be bitter about it for a little while. Like,
but she was about to be unbitter.
People are giving Eva more grace than Kat, and I just think that is so unfair, and I feel bad for her. I would be very upset. Like, I would I'm rich. I would move away. Chelsea, we can, telecommunicate about the business if we need to.
But I do like. I mean, like I said, Kat. We one thing we did say, she's always right. The character, she is one of the people at Fairmont Crest who's always right. She just get her hands busy, and sometimes for her own good, because her being so extra helped save Chelsea, but also her being so extra cost the case, and in all honesty, her being so extra is the reason why her man got fucked.
Oh my God!
If she would have just kept the communication with him, or did like she should have did and say, you know what, you don't deserve me.
Right.
But Tomas did it because his excuse is, valid or not, his excuse is we wasn't talking. Lame. I agree, but
she deserves so much better than that, and I do hope that she figures that out at some point. But just some other qualities about Kat that I do really, really appreciate, because it's qualities I appreciate in all women. And she is ambitious. She is fierce. She is unapologetic. She advocates for herself. She's independent. She is fierce. And I love that she valued herself enough to wait as long as she did before she gave up her gift. Even though she ended up, I feel like, losing it to the worst person she could have ever lost it to. However, I do love that she does, she takes herself very seriously. And I appreciate that.
I mean, she should.
Yeah, and she's a businesswoman.
Yeah, she should, but she could do better.
Oh, she could definitely do better. All right, so we're talking about Kat. We might as well move on to Eva.
Connected at the hip, whether you like it or not. Even on this show. Sisters.
She's played by Amber Michelle. So I asked you this before, but I want you to talk about it for the other gatekeepers.
My good person, Eva.
Yes. Okay.
Great person.
Do you think if there was if Eva had just replaced Laura, right? And there was no suspicion. Maybe it would have came out that was Ted's daughter, but not in the crazy way that it did. And Eva and Tomas didn't have insane chemistry or anything like that. Do you think eventually they would be friends?
Her and Kat?
Yeah.
For the reasons that you named, probably still would have taken where this may, let's say this situation gonna take 3 years, may have taken a year. Okay. You know what I mean? Because, you know, like you did bring up a good point, Kat's a daddy's girl and she don't want to share that. She hasn't had to. But I do think like, cause all right, so I'm trying to think how would it have happened, right? And you know what I'm thinking about? Remember when Eva was going around staring at the pictures in the beginning?
Oh, yes. And then she was envisioning herself.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like somehow or another it would have came out that way. Either way, it was going to come out nasty. Right. You know, I think it would have. Yeah. Because I'm trying to think of a scenario where, say, Leslie, like, I mean, if he was like, because at the end of the day, Ted had an affair. It wasn't, you know.
So it would have been exposed, but the way it was like the public embarrassment, like it was a lot to it.
But she didn't want to do it.
After a while. But do you see a friendship with them in the future?
I do. I think eventually. I
honestly hope so. Just for Kat's like peace of mind. I just like, when have we seen Kat? And I know we already moved on, but you can't talk about one without talking about the other at this point. Part.
They're rocking Austin.
Yeah, they really are. But when have we seen Kat just at peace on the show? Not worried, not investigating anything, not angry or bitter or complaining or anything.
In the very beginning. Right before Laura got hurt. You think about, you know, we just learned of her and, you know, that's when she was kind of keeping an eye on Tomas, you know, but I think that's the part, you know, and I think which would be the catalyst to get them to get along is I think Eva is going to be the hero when Tomas breaks Kat's heart, because it's going to happen. I think Eva's going to step to him. And then, because she gonna be happy, because she gonna be with Isaiah.
Yeah, because Eva and Isaiah Hawthorne are definitely hitting it off. They already was kissing in public. And I was like, oh, do you know how much I would have to like a guy to just start making out with him in the middle of a public restaurant? Yeah. Like, that is my godbrother
told me one time he was kissing somebody in the club. He said, bro, I did that. I can't believe I did that. You're not supposed to do that. No. He was like, the whole next day he had this whole dissertation on reasons why he shouldn't. But Eva and Isaiah, I mean, they already.
But Eva is very thirsty. Like, if we're going into character traits, like, is she... I mean, baddie on 1,000, beautiful, smart, kind,
street smart,
well-read, street smart. Eva honestly has it all. And I think the difference between Kat and Eva and the love, you know, is that Eva has something to say. And I say that in a way of, she didn't grow up with a silver spoon in her mouth.
Right.
She's had to work for a living. She's been in situations and obstacles in her life that Kat probably couldn't even fucking fathom.
Nope.
Over the years.
She got life skills. She do hair.
Yep. She does hair. She's that, you know, she kind of reminds me of my twin sister, who was like, kind of like, throw her into something. Yep. She'll adapt. She'll learn how to do it, and she'll be good at
Hands
it.
On.
Hands on.
And I think that's why I love that her and Martin are getting close. I wish it would have been a better situation. And I'll go back, not to the most recent one, because we're going to talk about that in the recap this week. But the time when he brought her to the house and she was like, you know, okay, so this is your aunt. You know, I would have loved to see her have more interaction with Samantha, because they are going to have more in common because of what Samantha's been through.
Right. Honestly, I think that would be a great bond between them. Because the thing is, when you're in an affluent family like the Duprees. Like, who are you gonna really relate to when it comes to like that struggle? And I grew up in the Bronx, and I know how much that struggle really shapes you. It kind of gives you character. It kind of gives you like a personality, like not personality, but it does give you character. And I do love that about Eva. And we did a deep dive on whether or not she's a good person. And
she grew up in Chicago.
Yeah. And the fact that she's even staying in the DMV just shows you her resilience, because she has the means. Like, I think if she really wanted to, Leslie can find something else for her. But the fact that they're withstanding the hate and all of that stuff, being close to her father and stuff like that, I do admire that out of everything. And this is why a lot of people give her grace. I know I just went in on why they give Eva so much grace, but she could be so much worse being raised by Leslie. She's actually compassionate. Like, she's actually considerate. She's actually kind. That's
why I said she needs some friends. At the end of the day, she needs some friends.
Boom.
Like girlfriends, like same age. Maybe her and Ashley could be friends.
You have said that before, and at first it sounded random, but it's like she just needs like a generic.
They're both caretakers in the situation.
Like somebody, somebody that genuinely cares about her, that can keep it real. Yeah. Because the only people we ever see Eva talking to is guys she's thirsting over, Kat's boyfriend, her dad, and her mom and her mother's friends. And it's like, girl, get a life. You don't got no coworkers you was cool with at the hair salon or something. But I do love Eva. I love how complex Eva's character is, and how any given day I can argue whether or not she's a good person and her motives and stuff like that. So she's a very interesting character.
Probably made the most heel face turn.
Yes, absolutely.
Where you 1 minute you can't stand her, and then the next minute you like, wait, I'm rooting for you. She's like Tariq on Power.
I rarely ever rooted for it. My second Power watch, I was like, I hate this little nigga. Okay. The first watch, I should have said
the other one, not the first OG Power, when he was the baby face on the show the whole time.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the one.
Gotcha,
that's the one.
Gotcha. Okay. I think I want to do a Power rewatch. And
we
maybe a pod.
No, yeah, we know we got some Power fans out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
She want to talk about Force, y'all. Yeah, we can go to the next one. I said she want to talk about Power Force.
Ew, no, that's the worst one. Tommy did not need a spinoff. Okay, so Ashley Morgan, we mentioned her because you're like, okay, her and Eva could possibly be friends. But there is a scene, I think even maybe one of the first scenes that we meet Ashley. Eva's in that scene.
Yeah, when they go
because
she start her job.
Yes, Leslie is friends with Ashley's mom, Jan, and Ashley was starting her new job as a nurse that day. So they are very familiar with each other. So that wouldn't be a bad shout. So Ashley Morgan, we've talked about on the channel a lot because her love triangle, square, whatever you want to call it, with Andre and her fiance, then not fiance, it's a boyfriend to not boyfriend, to roommate to not roommate, to caretaker to not caretaker, Derek. But let's talk about Ashley outside of her boy drama. And let's talk about Ashley Morgan as a person. And she is played by Jen Jacob, who is also very beautiful. Yeah. She is also very interactive with the Instagram. So
6 Hard Media Instagram.
Make sure you follow us there. But what was your first impression on Ashley, and what can you just say about her as a character?
Not care to hear about the baby getting delivered every week. That was my first impression. But, I felt bad for Ashley because in the beginning, I saw when she was trying to be like nice to Derek and bending more, and I felt like he was just kind of taking advantage, just moving his stuff into her studio apartment. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you don't, first of all, you don't touch a woman's stuff. If they have it in a place, they know where they put it. And I know I have the advantage of growing up in a house with having 3 sisters and 2 aunts, but still, like, you just don't do that. And he was moving stuff around, and she was just taking it until she was damn near snapped. Now I think she just needs to be real with herself. Every time I think about everything with Andre, like she knew the moment they delivered that baby, she wanted to give him the cheeks.
She was in love. I mean, it connected them for life.
Right. But she was trying to be nice because what we always say, Derek was perfect on paper. Yeah. So she wanted to be like, okay, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah. And she was scared.
Yeah, and it's understandable. Yeah. But yeah, it was time for her to move on. But she was too late. She missed out on the greatest thing that she could have had.
She could have really went to Paris. But so outside of like her continuous boy drama, I love that she loves her job. Mm-hmm. I love that she cares so much. She is a very kind-hearted person.
Yeah, she cares so much. She was taking her time to set a wedding date.
Oh my God. I said we're talking about her isolated from her boy drama. Oh, okay. And she is a dedicated nurse, period. True. Okay, so she delivered a baby on her very first day. I had to mention that again.
In the elevator.
But I do love that about Ashley. I feel like she reminds me of those girls who probably didn't grow up with a lot of money. I mentioned in previous episodes that Ashley and Jan give me like single mom vibes, or it was just like kind of the dynamic with Leslie and Eva, where it's like us two against the world, and they're independent and they know how to just kind of go get them. She knew early on she wanted to care about people and knew she wanted to be a nurse, and her life was probably very sheltered, and she didn't have probably like a big dreams or anything crazy. And she meets Andre, and he represents a whole new universe to her. And I think, but there's fear to that. We talk about it all the time. Like, we know people that like have never left Baltimore, who have never left their hometown, have never, because they might want to, but it's that fear of the unknown and the fear of not going with the status quo. So she settled for Derek almost 3 times in the course of the show, just on the simple fact that she didn't, she was scared. So I think what I want more for Ashley is for her to, you mentioned like, listen to your heart. If you want,
get more of Ashley, like we
and I want it to be outside of them
because of that, everything you just said, like because of the fact that we haven't seen her outside of boy drama so much. We're going to really find out who Ashley is in the next few weeks.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's move on to Ashley's best friend, and that's Naomi.
Yep.
Hamilton-Hawthrone. And she's played by Ariel Prepati. Mm-hmm. And I love her character so much. And I always kind of did. She had her moments when she was like obsessed with June, and I feel like overstepping a lot. But we are introduced to her as a badass lawyer, fiercely independent, in a relationship with Jacob. They love having sex all the time. I don't know if they're newlyweds at the start of the show, but I know that they're known for just being like super in love with each other. And
perfect marriage.
They did seem like they had the perfect marriage. And I love that about her. I love that she loves her job. I love that she's ambitious. I love that she supports her mom fiercely, her little sister, her dad, even from the whole fiasco with Haley. And we learned recently, because it was the year anniversary of them filming the show, the scene of Naomi and her dad Bill is one of the very first scenes that was ever filmed for the show, of him, I think, either trying to invite her to the wedding or her finally confronting her dad about everything. But that was I love that kind of like trivia. So she kind of like kicked off the show.
Yeah, and I really enjoy her character. First of all, I'm gonna give a shout out to Naomi's Courtroom on Instagram, because they'll post like all the cool outfits she be wearing.
Ooh,
she definitely dresses well. But I do love the fact that she is a straight shooter. We always say like, boy, oh boy, when she find out what Haley's up to, she gonna throw those hands. But you can see that, like, she was the calm. They try to keep her mother calm during the wedding, that Vernon made them all go to. But then You know, it's just she's not the one you would ever want to cross. I feel like if you had to choose all the ladies on the show, I think it's her number one, probably Leslie number 2 because Leslie will run you over. Yeah, Eva number 3.
Yeah, I completely agree. Naomi looked like she got them hands. She looked like she could destroy you verbally. Yeah, she looked like she could destroy you physically.
She went toe to toe with her dad. And was getting ready to battle in court.
Oh my God! Yes, that was another thing that oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah, his Bill Hamilton's firm, they was getting sued for sexual harassment, and they wanted her to represent them. And in hindsight, I'm kind of glad she didn't, because it is nice to see that her and Bill actually do have a relationship. But in the moment, I thought it would have really been cool to see, and I do think that's gonna happen in the future. Mark my words. Ooh. They're gonna face off in court in the future for whatever reason. But yeah, Naomi's a great character. We've talked a lot about how she represents a professional woman who is married, who just genuinely just doesn't want children and wants to dedicate their life to their career and helping people. Yep. I love that. Loyal daughter, loyal friend. Her and Jacob have a rocky marriage right now, but I think they're gonna get through it.
They're gonna get back.
They're definitely gonna get back.
They just need to have sex. We said that.
Thing. Yes, they both need to get laid by each other, I guess. So let's talk about Chelsea. Yeah. Naomi's little sister. And she has had quite the journey on the show. Yeah. Yeah. And I feel more recently, I don't know if it's the new writers, but her personality has come out more. Maybe it could be her new romance with Madison. But Chelsea was also a very complex character, because in the beginning, she wasn't really, she didn't really have like a main thing. Right. And then it was like kind of blurted out in random conversations that she liked to play with strangers. But she was on these streets having fun, which, I love. Very sex positive person, dealing with her, identity. Yeah. Her queer identity, and coming out to her family, and realizing she might like girls, more than she thought she did. Falling in love with Madison was very interesting. And then the whole thing with Allison, the girl got kidnapped.
She liked Allison first, unfortunately.
She did like Allison first. She did.
Which was crazy, because it's like, Allison, what are you doing? You didn't have to. You had
girl.
her.
Chelsea literally was throwing herself at you, and I'm glad she found Madison, because she was also looking a little thirsty at times. Yeah, as well. Wow. We were like, is she? Because we were thinking of doing an episode on Chelsea, and we were gonna name it "Is Chelsea Addicted to Love" or something like that, because she just seems so like love me, pick me. But I love her and Madison together now. I think they're beautiful.
I agree.
But yeah, she young influencer, and very realistic to have an influencer character on the show, especially like these rich, beautiful Black people. Like, of course, one of them, got it popping. The Gen Z got it popping on social media. Her and Kat, obviously business partners, and I love seeing her even mature in that role. Because she was a model, and she had her kind of first storyline was breaking apart from her momager, Dani, who was a famous model, and we'll definitely get to her next. So seeing that journey, going from being too scared to fire her mom as manager to now being like a dope business owner who survived the worst.
Nah, we gotta give props to Chelsea. Gotta get her love, because you're right. Surviving.
We gonna give Chelsea her flowers, and she's great.
She holds Kat accountable.
She does. She
behind closed doors.
Yep. When she needs to, she definitely keeps it real. That's her sister. Yeah. For all intents and purposes. So we love Chelsea. I want to see more. We don't know where she left off with Madison about the whole mother situation.
I've been seeing a lot of people online that said, "Where's Madison?" Yeah. People saying, "Oh, maybe she's not on the show no more," but she mentioned her, so I feel good.
I think she definitely is. Watch next week. We always talk people up, or characters up, and then next week is gonna be a Madison heavy week. Watch. Yep. For sure. And just real quick about Madison, she is, newish to the show. We do hope she stays on. She's a brain surgeon.
Is she a surgeon?
No, she might just be a neurologist. She's a neurologist, yes. And she's dynamic, and she's getting used to dating someone that's an influencer and being in the Dupree orbit.
Two opposites.
Yes, and she was there with the whole Allison situation. So I hope we see more of Madison, and I want to meet her mom, who has opposing ideologies about health, which is going to be very interesting and very poignant right now. So let's talk about Dani Dupree.
Okay.
Who y'all know my favorite character. I love her so much. She's so dynamic. She is so fierce. She's so everything. We have a couple episodes about Dani.
Yeah.
We have one on the Bill Haley Dani love triangle, and we have another one.
Did we do her Andre yet?
Yes. Are they really in love? That's a great one. That's a great one. But right off the top of your head, because we talk about Dani a lot on the channel, so we don't have to go too much into her. But what was your first impression of Dani, and how has that opinion changed now that we're in like the?
I thought she was gonna crash out sooner or later. You think back to when we met her, she was upset. I think she threw something on the first episode. She broke some glass, or at least the first few episodes. And then it was, crashing out because Bill was getting married. I'm just like, oh, she deserves better. And from running in and out of his house when he wasn't there while he was on his honeymoon. So to see her now, I love every bit of it. And, I talked about, following Carla Mosley for a while, watching her on Bold and Beautiful. Totally different character, but the dynamic actress that, I really enjoy. So I think she does a phenomenal job in the position that she's in. And I think Dani, we've seen her go literally from worse to being at her best, what her and Andre, far as their relationship, her not caring about what her parents think, to now being in a position was like, you know what? I'm just living life freely with a lot of lies.
Ooh, yeah, I can't wait to see how that hits the fan. I do like seeing her happy with Andre, because you forget this girl been through a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I thought she was going to be like the Alki of the show. Because anytime she heard any bad news, anything about Bill or something, she went and she got drunk and did some wild shit.
Yep.
And I am glad that she's kind of past that. She's kind of remembering who she is. She's in this, I'm going to say loving marriage, because it is, right? And she seems to have been moved past Bill, at least to the point where she wants to move forward and give Andre a try. But I want to see her model more. I want to see her modeling. I want to see more of that aspect of Dani. I want to see her in her element. And
bring it back.
Yeah, because they were supposed to go to LA, and I thought we were going to see more of like that scene. And then they were just in a freaking hotel room having the same conversation about their marriage for the 800,000th time. But I love Dani. She is a gem. She's definitely my favorite character. And I want to see that side.
Yeah, me too.
For sure. So then we will go to her sissy, Nicole. So what was your first impression of Nicole? And do you feel like she's ever going to fully step into her light?
My first impression was that she just had everything going on, but she was also the backbone of the family. If Anita Dupree was the matriarch, Nicole held everything together. She was the one everybody went to. She was like the perfect mom, the perfect wife, the perfect aunt. And then, unfortunately, her life fell apart. But, I do like that. I do think she will step into her light. I think it's going to take a while, but I do think so. I think it's going to happen maybe very soon, honestly, Winterfest, I think she may have a +1.
I hope so. I really hope.
Especially she thinking, Ted.
I really hope Carlton hits that.
It could be anybody but him.
I mean, yeah. I'll take it.
She
needs a night where a guy just praises her and worships her. Like, look how Dani got over her divorce.
She needs a stranger.
Having a man love and appreciate her.
Well, he was, in all fairness, even though he was crooked, Carlton was trying to do that. But she still got her guard up, rightfully so. So But I do think that's coming, but I do love seeing how she's been able to bounce back, but I also love that she's always willing to be able to give advice, even if she can't give official therapy sessions. But it's important.
She gotta stop giving out free therapy.
Now she gonna have to check her kids. Like, look,
Yeah. I think mom might have to step in. Not dumbass Ted. It gotta be Nicole. But just some other character traits, because we do talk about Nicole a bit on the show. I love, you mentioned she's very virtuous. She's dependable. I feel like she always did the right thing because she was the firstborn. She was the first Dupree daughter in this community, and then you had Dani, who was able to kind of be the wild child growing up. And anytime you have that situation, it's always like the other one is like the complete opposite. And I think Nicole is the complete opposite. And I think there were times over the show where she was envious of Dani and Dani's ability to just make wild decisions and be impulsive and just not give a fuck. And Nicole did admit to herself in recent episodes, like, dating Carl, as much as she wants to date Carlton, like, she is afraid of what people are gonna say and how people, and even if those people might just be her family members, she still cares a lot. And as much as I think at her big age she should just not give a fuck and be happy, there is something admirable about someone who just like wants to be a decent person and do the right thing.
Yeah, but I think if she do change, boy oh boy, look out. Imagine her and Dani flip. Just a good 3 months where she becomes wild.
Oof. I think she honestly needs that, and that's a good Instagram follow.
Yeah.
That is a very good Instagram follow. But I love Nicole. I did see her and Ted getting back together. Do you even see that maybe they could? Because they be flirting with, now that they're divorced, like I feel like there's
all it takes
like
is
the
one night.
tension thawed out a little bit.
One night.
Yeah, but then not with Leslie, because they almost had that night where I really was, because even Ted was thinking he was telling people they was getting back together after that little night. But yeah, Nicole is a great character, and I want to see some edge. I've been seeing more edge, but I want to see her, sleep with a couple guys, and not at the same time, but date, have fun, go out, dress a little sexier, do a little something.
Yeah,
a little something. So Haley Lawson, and she's played by Marquita Goings.
Haley, I think that's the answer you asked me earlier. Probably least favorite of the show. I have never liked her. There's never been a point in time where I've liked Haley. There's never been a point in time where I've rooted for Haley. From day one. Because how you gonna sit up there and be with your best friend, which is, we've been questioning that. I think maybe they just said. They told us they grew up together, and then all of a sudden,
like
they
she was just a mark that she met at the gym,
and they became good besties.
Yes.
But either way, you went and you took Dani Dupree's man. I'm just saying, well, if he wasn't yours, you're gonna take it. But whatever, you did that. And what did they say? Remember in the show promos, home record.
Yes, that was how she was, and that's really how she was presented and has been presented. But her character evolved, like you mentioned before, like, because she did at one point seem like I couldn't help it, I fell in love, and then she turned into like this conniving, manipulative criminal who's like this Black Widow type that goes and kills all these rich men for money and all of that. And I'm sorry, her aptitude for crime doesn't give me like I did this more than once at all, because the episode we watched prior to recording this, she's poisoning Bill out in the open in the law firm. She's dramatic and hits the tea out of Naomi's hand, and emphasizing this tea so much that I feel like it's gonna become suspicious after a while, because also Naomi and Bill Hamilton are not stupid. You are, Haley, but they're not.
Yeah, he ain't drink all. He took some sips, so the poison ain't run all the way through yet.
Is it gonna work? Because Bill was looking good, like healthy. Like he wasn't looking like he's been being poisoned for the last like few days. But outside of the home wrecker, like I'm even trying to think of like good personality traits outside of that, and I really can't. She's
the
corny,
worst.
She's not funny. She's jealous.
No, good trait. She's beautiful.
She's absolutely gorgeous. But all, like we said, all the women on the show are absolutely gorgeous. But she's beautiful.
That's just to show you sometimes, fellas. Be beautiful on the outside, but the inside.
Nasty. But yeah, so we also talk about Haley on the pod a lot, and there's a lot of episodes that I'll link in the description about Haley. But I really can't think of any redeeming qualities about her, and I really just want her to get caught. And Naomi put the beats on her. She ain't even a good criminal,
like you said. Her and her cuz.
Oh God, dummy! What I said, call her and Randy, dummy number 1 and dummy number 2. I cannot wait. I think the men episode.
Oh boy.
We spotlight the men of Fairmont Crest. It's gonna be spicy. But check out our Haley episodes and let us know what you think about her in the comments. And do you think she'll ever get her comeuppance? So last but not least, another character that we do talk about on the show, because I'm a huge fan, and that is Vanessa McBride, and she is played by Lauren Buglioli. Yes. And she, another character we talk about, but it's because she is, compared to a lot of the other characters, a boss ass bitch. You know, she comes from money, but she chooses to own her own. She chooses not to have a boss. She runs her own business. Even when she was married and Doug was around, like, she was having her own fun on the side, like, to the point where, and I love how in the beginning of the show, they show little spurts of who the characters are, and you don't know, like, Vanessa at one point didn't seem like she was going to be a major character. Like, it looked like she was going to just, you know, she'll have her scenes with, like, her, you know, jump offs or whatever, but we didn't realize that she was going to be, like, a major player. So it was just fun to see, like, this woman out there having fun, and then we found out she married. I'm like, oh, Vanessa she having fun out here. I was already intrigued.
Yeah, it was wild.
And then when she got mixed up with Joey Armstrong, I was like, oh, it just showed a totally different side to her.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, but she's so great that she got Joey falling in love.
He really said that he loved her.
But I do question her parenting skills.
She's a horrible mother.
Like, what are we doing? You know, you need to. Y'all just lost. The kids just lost their father. You just lost your husband. What are you doing?
You kicking them out the house, so you basically could have fun with Joey,
right? You know, and she was his, you know, the one who was seen putting a lot of seeds in Joey's business. Mm-hmm. So Joey thought, then learned that she wasn't paying for it.
Yeah, that was hilarious to
But I do think she's a good friend to Nicole and Dani.
Yes.
You know, that's a good quality about her. She's a great friend to them, and I do love that dynamic that they, you know, they can talk.
I do too.
You know, but I'm interested to see. And then she is a boss. You know, when Doug was damn near about to get killed the first time, she stepped up and protected him. Now the second time,
and she protected Randy at one point as well, and saved his life as well. And she's one of the few people, male or female, that has stood up to Joey Armstrong.
Yep.
And I gotta give her props on that one. Where do you see this going? I don't even think we've talked about this particularly, but now that her and Joey Armstrong's relationship has progressed, they actually now have a business relationship officially now. He's now told her that he loves her. Where do you see Vanessa's character, let's say, in 6 months?
I don't even
Let's say 3 months in soap opera world.
Okay, 3 months. I think she'll be... I think they're gonna rock with each other for a little bit. Okay. And then I think the son gonna get suspicious. And then he's gonna... Or maybe the daughter shows up and she uncovers that Joey has something to do with Doug's death. Or Doug...
I would love if Doug was not really dead. I would love that. So
who did the body?
Right. And we ain't see it, so we don't know. But I do want that to happen. And I don't want anything bad to happen to Vanessa. I just want her to be like a madam and have her dangerous, you know. There are men like Joey Armstrong do have women in their lives, so why not let it be Vanessa?
Yeah,
you know?
That's what I think he's trying to do.
Yeah, and why not a woman to keep the hoes in line? Right? I am like so excited so we're recording this on a Thursday, so we have our like cliffhanger episode tomorrow of the gigs that we personally love, and recording this and talking about the female characters who are all dynamic in so many different ways. Like they're all like just kind of like fire. Like,
I mean, yeah, we just did a show on the women of Fairmont Crest, and there was a lot of women.
Right, and they're all strong.
Yeah, all strong.
Yes,
so.
all strong. So please let us know what you think of our opinions on the characters, how you feel about the female characters on Beyond the Gates.
I want to see y'all rankings too.
Yeah.
Give me your top 3, give me your bottom 3 in the comments.
Yes, we want to hear what you think. We are going to do a men's episode as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And of course, our weekly recaps, and hit that subscribe and that bell for notifications. And we will see you next time.
Thank you for joining this episode of Loving Them Gates. For more Beyond the Gates content from 6 Heart Media, be sure to, 1, like and subscribe, but also check out the podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms, as well as the playlist right here. We do deep dives as well as weekly recaps.